Hello, I am Matt Bernstein. I am starting an accounting firm in Plano, Texas, and I am asking for your investment in the business. I am asking for a $30,000 investment and a 25% stake in the business. All you will be as an investor, you will hold no role at the daily management of the business, but only an investment. And the business structure will be an LLC. And I chose an LLC mainly because of the hybrid nature in its structure. The LLC's advantages are that it's seen as a pass-through entity, there is limited liability similar to a corporation, and then if wanted to, an outside investor can be another business. What I mean by seen as a pass-through entity is that each of the members retains its own share of the profits, and then those profits are taxed at each of the members' own personal tax rate, which is a huge advantage. And another huge advantage is that the liability is similar to a corporation. So each member is only liable up to their amount invested in the business. So say you invest $30,000, you're only liable up to $30,000, and none of your personal assets can be are liable. But even though there are all these advantages, the main disadvantage is that the statutes are not uniform across the U.S. But I don't see this being a huge problem for my accounting firm, as we will mainly be operating in Texas and we won't have to go out into other states and possibly be treated differently. Other forms of business that I chose not to use are sole proprietorship, partnership, limited partnership, and corporation. The sole proprietorship's advantages are that it's single person manage the entire business, and then that single person retains all the profits and they're taxed at the personal tax rate. But this form of business wouldn't work for me because of that it's only a single member and I'm looking for multiple people to manage the business and invest in the business. And then there's also the unlimited amount of personal liability. So if the business was to owe debts to some person, that the owner of the business could be all their personal assets could be susceptible to being seized. Another form of business I chose not to choose is a partnership, and it's very similar to a sole proprietorship, but it has more than one person, so more than one person manages the business, and its advantage is it's still seen as a pass-through entity. So the profits are taxed on the personal tax rate at the owner's personal tax rate, which is good. But I ultimately chose not to go with the general partnership because of, again, the unlimited personal liability for each owner. And then the next form of business I chose not to go with is a limited partnership, which is almost identical to a partnership, except there's an added must be at least one limited partner. So you have a general partner and a limited partner. And what's good is that they're still taxed at the personal tax rate, but the limited partner or the general partner still receives the unlimited amount of personal liability, whereas the limited partner is only liable up to the amount invested. But I chose not to go with it because of the general partner. It still has unlimited liability. The last form of business I did not go with was a corporation. And the corporation, the biggest benefits are that it is limited liable under the corporate veil. And then there's also a flexibility to raise funds through public stock. But even though those are good benefits, they have an expensive setup, they have a higher tax rate, and they also have more guidelines that they have to follow. So overall, after analyzing all of the different business structures, the best structure is an LLC because it combines the best parts of each of the different structures. It takes the personal tax structure as used in the sole proprietorship and partnerships with the limited liability of a corporation.